Well, breaking news this hour, a shooting at Florida State University. I'm Andrew Rafferty, and you are on the scene. According to the Associated Press, a suspect has been taken into custody and multiple victims have now been reported. We do not know the extent of the victim's injuries, and we are awaiting more details on the person who was, in fact, taken into custody. Scripps News Group in Tallahassee is reporting that a local hospital is actively receiving and caring for FSU students. No further information has been provided, but all Leon County schools are now on lockdown as a precaution, and the FBI Jacksonville office is on the scene helping local law enforcement. Video showing students evacuated so quickly, many left food, shoes, laptops on parts of the campus lawn, and you can see students being escorted from campus. Let's go now to Forrest Saunders, who is reporting from the campus at FSU.
Well, unfortunately, I'm seeing just a large police presence here. This is not something that anybody wants to see or expected to see on a Friday before Easter. You had a lot of kids that were at the student union, as I understand. They were hanging out, they were studying, they were eating food. And then witnesses tell me that they've heard at least 10 gunshots that were fired. They thought it was probably a lot more than that. And then everybody ran. And what you've seen is some of the video that I captured on my way onto campus, which is in green spaces where students lay out in the sun. They left behind towels. They left behind meals half-eaten. They left behind their laptops, their shoes. They ran for their life because they did not know what was happening, but they were told to evacuate. Now, as I understand, just talking with some university officials here just a little bit ago, the current situation is that law enforcement, as required in an active shooter situation, has to go building by building, has to go door to door to make sure that the campus is in fact secure. That is what they are working on right now. We have not gotten the all clear. We were alerted earlier today to an active shooter situation, and I got to tell you, it was sometime around noon. I can't really recall because things have been happening so fast out here. And there is just a big fog of knowledge right now. We do not know what is true, what is not, but that is why we are waiting for officials to give us those totals. We hope that they're low. We hope that there is none, but obviously we've heard a few confirmations already. But that is the reality of these active shooter situations, is you just don't know how bad it's going to be. The initial moments of these kinds of things are full of rumor. They are full of wrong information, unfortunately, but that's just what happens in these emergencies. So we are waiting patiently to find out more information. I can tell you what students have told me, including that at least one individual was wounded on the face, and I had video of this. I saw this with my own eyes. He was loaded into the back of an ambulance, and he was shackled. I do not know if this person is involved or the reason for the shackling, but a U.S. Marshal brought some shackles over. They restrained this person, and they took him away. Whether or not he's connected, we do not know yet, and we probably will not know more until law enforcement is ready. Now, if you look on top of the buildings here, you'll see some law enforcement with their long guns out. This is what we have seen for at least an hour since I've been here. Law enforcement in tactical gear with bulletproof vests, with rifles at the ready. They don't have them in an elevated position, but they are walking around trying to secure this area. I've seen law enforcement with battering rams, crowbars, trying to get into buildings to make sure that they are secure, that everything is safe. That is, as the university officials told me, standard operating procedure for one of these events. So we're just waiting to find out what the next steps are. I also know that here eventually there will be a press conference. We're being told the university will inform us when that will be exactly, but they were asking media to stage at another building here on campus, which we will be headed to here shortly. But that is sort of the latest situation that I can give you. I just know that students are afraid. They're worried about their loved ones. They're worried about their friends. They're worried about their teachers. And that is the harsh reality of these situations, is that we'll all have to wait to find out. I do know that parents have come to the area and have been asking students if they know their son or daughter and if they can give them an update. People are just desperate for information right now. and we will do our best to get it out there as fast as we can. Guys.
And President Trump says he has been briefed on the shooting, calls it a horrible thing. Let's bring in Scripps News congressional correspondent Nate Reed. Nate, I know you've been tracking reaction both from politicians and from officials here in Washington. Have you learned anything?
I have. In the last couple of moments, Kash Patel, the FBI director, tweeted that they're members of the FBI's Jacksonville team who are on the ground assisting. I think something that we knew, that this was a multi-agency response to this tragedy. But we've also heard a fair amount of reaction from lawmakers who say that they've been briefed on the incident. I want to start here with Senator Rick Scott, the Republican from Florida. He says on X, quote, praying for the safety of everyone at FSU and a swift recovery to those injured. His team has been in touch with local law enforcement, continues to monitor the situation. Students should continue to follow directions from school officials. From Senator Ashley Moody, who of course replaced Marco Rubio in the Senate, my office has already been in contact with school leadership about the tragic reporting, on FSU's campus, praying for the safety of the students, faculty, and all first responders involved. I want to go now to Dr. Neil Dunn, the Republican congressman from Florida's 2nd congressional district. He represents the area that includes Tallahassee. He said on X, my team and I are monitoring reports of an active shooter on FSU's campus. It's early to understand the extent of the violence, but early reports are very disturbing. Follow all local guidance, stay in place, shelter in place, stay safe. Thank you to our brave first responders for responding to the situation. A couple of Democrats as well responding to this in Florida. Again, this occurred in a Republican district, but Congressman Jared Moskowitz, who represents the area that includes the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, where we saw another mass shooting a couple of years ago, saying that he's monitoring the tragedy. Students should be able to go to school without the threats of gun violence. Representative Frederica Wilson, another Florida a Democrat, saying that she's praying for everyone's safety and that our places of learning should never be a target of violence. This should not be the reality on our campuses. So interesting to see, Andrew, even in this time of crisis, the partisan divide kind of playing out. Democrats saying these sort of things should not happen. Republicans really sticking to messages of thoughts and prayers and saying they've been briefed from local officials.
A familiar refrain from many as we continue to deal with another shooting, it seems like, on a college campus. Scripps News congressional correspondent Nate Reed for us. Nate, thank you.